Okay, I have a few example problems from section 5 of the first chapter at this point. We're putting everything together, and so first we need to know what conclusion of an argument is, as well as whether or not it is an argument, if we have an induction or deduction, and then depending on whether it's an induction or deduction, we're applying the different standards to decide if the reasoning is correct, and even the final step, which we only go to if the reasoning is correct. Think about whether or not the premises are true. And that ties to, for induction, cogency, and for deduction, soundness. All right, let's get to it here. The first argument, we have if Obama falters, then Palin or Romney will be the next president of the United States. Obama will falter. This proves that Palin will be the next president of the United States. Okay, first of all, the second sentence here, the third sentence, this proves that Palin will be the next president of the United States is our conclusion. The presence of proves that is an indicator, and in fact the pure tell that this is a deduction. Okay, so let's say that first. Okay, I'm going to underline the conclusion. Palin will be the next president of the United States. And we have two premises given in support of that conclusion. Now, proves that again, telling us deduction. It's also the case that we have several different logical words, if right here, or, and general structure is what we'll come to learn as propositional logic. Okay, now is the reasoning correct? If the premises are true, does the conclusion have to be true? If you read it, it says if Obama falters, then Palin or Romney will be the next president of the United States. Obama will falter. This proves Palin will be the next president of the United States. That does not follow here. What follows is that Palin or Romney will be the next president of the United States, not necessarily both of those two things. If we wanted to sketch out the logical form, which is sometimes helpful, you may not have a clear sense of how to do this, but follow me as best you can. Basically, let's say O stands for Obama falters. If O, then let's say P or R. P stands for Palin will be the next president of the United States. R, Romney will be the next president of the United States. And we have O. And then our conclusion from that is being drawn here is P. Now, doesn't follow. Maybe you can see that more clearly in terms of structure. If O, then P or R. O, therefore P. Nope, doesn't work. Doesn't follow. No guarantee there. The argument is invalid. And that's the end of the story. Incidentally, any argument that's invalid is unsound. Okay, next argument. If Obama plays basketball, then Palin and Romney, yeah, maybe like politics, maybe not. We're not really getting into the details here. In any case, what we have here is if Obama plays basketball, then Palin and Romney play basketball. However, Palin does not play basketball. Hence, Obama does not play basketball. This one's a little bit harder to tell. Conclusion's clear. Okay, we have a conclusion indicator, hence right here. Here's our conclusion. Obama does not play basketball. Between induction and deduction, it's a little bit less clear, but again, the logical words, if, then, not once again, and the way that the sentences mirror precisely one another is an indication of deduction. Furthermore, and you maybe don't know this in advance, but perhaps you do as you look at, the conclusion does necessarily follow, and in any case, when so let me sketch this here. It's one of our rules. When the conclusion necessarily follows, we're always going to say valid. It's sort of a matter of giving the argument its due. Argument always counts as valid. Okay, going on here. Why does this conclusion necessarily follow? We got Obama playing basketball implies Palin and Romney both do. Palin doesn't. It tells us Obama doesn't. Why? If he did, well, then Palin would, and we know Palin doesn't, so this is an invalid argument. Okay, we already said it's a deduction, but this is an additional reason for it. It's valid. To see the logical form, let's put it like this. If O, then P and R, not P. Palin does not play basketball, leading to the conclusion not O. Somewhat complicated, somewhat difficult question to say whether or not the argument is valid, but indeed it is. If the argument's valid, then we go back and think about whether or not the premises are true. It's a little bit dicey here. What I would actually say is it's valid, but like some things in the real world, you may not know. As in the exercises, just say it's not clear if it's sound. If I had to say, I'd go with unsound. First premise seems a little bit odd. If Obama plays basketball and Palin and Romney play basketball, that would definitely be false if Obama did play basketball, which I think he does, and one of the two did not. And I'm not really sure, but it seems entirely possible that one of the other two don't. Palin does not play basketball. I think Palin was a basketball player. Not clear whether or not that's the case. The logical point here, though, is the argument is valid. And to decide whether or not it's sound, to decide whether or not we have a proof here of a conclusion, which probably better not, because again, I believe it to be the case that Obama does in fact play basketball. The soundness again would be determined by whether or not those claims are actually true. I'm going to break the tape.